I found out Sarah was cheating on a rainy day in New York. She'd left her phone on the dining table. The screen lit up. A new message. Last night was amazing. Same place Thursday? The sender was saved as David, but the profile photo was a shirtless picture of her personal trainer's abs. I stood by the dripping window, still holding the coffee I'd made for her. She came out of the bathroom, hair damp. "Jack," she said with a bright smile, "I booked us a marriage counselor. We start next week." Her eyes looked terrifyingly sincere. "We need professional help." The coffee cup felt hotter and hotter in my hand. The therapist's office was in Midtown Manhattan. Sarah wore the pearl-white blouse I'd given her. She spoke first. "I feel incredibly lonely." Her voice trembled in the quiet room. "Jack is always working late. We don't talk anymore." She turned to me, eyes glossy with tears. "You don't even remember our anniversary." I had forgotten. I was racing a deadline that day. But that same night, she didn't come home until 10, saying she'd been out with a friend. Lisa, the therapist, was a middle-aged woman with the expression of a still lake. "Sarah, can you tell me more about that loneliness? It's like being trapped in a glass box." Sarah twisted her fingers together. "Until someone sees me." Her cheeks flushed. "Someone willing to listen." I stared at the geometric pattern on the carpet, thinking about last Tuesday when she'd worked late. She came home smelling like a stranger's cologne. "Jack, how about you?" Lisa asked. "I'm listening," I said. "We went once a week." Sarah played the role of the devoted wife beautifully. She bought marriage books and stacked them on her nightstand. She circled every therapy date in red on the kitchen calendar. But on Tuesday and Thursday nights, she still had to go to the gym. One Thursday, I drove past the gym. Her car wasn't there. I went to a hotel 3 blocks away. Her car was parked in the VIP section. I sat on the corner across the street for 40 minutes and watched her walk out with the photo trainer. His arm was around her waist. She was laughing. I hadn't seen her laugh like that in 2 years. The next morning at breakfast, she sliced fruit. "Yoga was brutal last night," she said, rubbing her shoulder, "but the instructor says I'm making great progress." "Which instructor?" I asked. "The new one." She didn't look up. "David." At our 6th session, Lisa suggested we each write a relationship reflection. "Don't share it," she said. "This is just for you. Write down the moments that feel important." That night Sarah stayed in the study late. When I walked past, I saw her smiling at her laptop screen. My version took half a page. I wrote about when she started feeling distant, when she switched to a perfume she'd never worn before, when her phone passcode changed from our anniversary to a string of numbers I didn't recognize. That weekend, Lisa met with us separately. "I've read your reflections," she said, her voice as steady as a heart monitor. "Sarah, you mentioned last November as a turning point. You wrote, 'Someone caught me when I was falling apart.'" Sarah nodded. "That was when work stress was at its worst." "You also wrote, 'After March, I began to see possibilities.'" "That's when Jack finally agreed to counseling," Sarah said. My stomach tightened. Last November, she'd been on a week-long business trip to California. In March, she started going to the gym every Thursday. "I need to clarify something," Lisa said, setting down her notebook. "During these 6 weeks of marriage counseling, has there been a third party consistently involved in your relationship?" The room went so quiet I could hear the air conditioner. Sarah's face went pale. "What?" "Your writing describes ongoing emotional support," Lisa said. "The timeline overlaps completely with your counseling. Meanwhile, Jack writes about growing distance." She paused. "And clinical assessment. This usually indicates the presence of a sustained third party." "Those are my feelings." Sarah's voice shot up. "Are feelings a crime now?" "Feelings aren't a crime," Lisa said gently, "but counseling only works when both people are committed to repairing the marriage. If one person is simultaneously maintaining another relationship, she didn't finish." Sarah looked like she'd been punched. She cried the whole drive home. "I went to counseling to save our marriage," she shouted in the car. "Those notes were just my emotions." "Did your emotions include weekly hotel nights with your boyfriend?" I finally said. She went silent. That night she called David. I could hear fragments from the balcony. "It's documented, official records, you have to back me up." Then her voice started shaking. "What do you mean?" "No, wait." She rushed back inside. Her phone slipped from her hand and hit the floor. "He blocked me." Her eyes were wide when she looked at me. "He says he doesn't want to get involved in a legal situation with documentation." A friend referred me to a divorce lawyer. Sarah tried to use the counseling records to show she had made an effort in the marriage. My lawyer laughed. "These same records show she was carrying on an affair during counseling." He flipped through the papers. "A judge will see that as bad faith." Sarah sat across the table. Her pearl-white blouse wrinkled. She looked small. After we signed the preliminary agreement, she caught up with me by the elevators. "Jack, Her mascara was smudged. I thought counseling would protect me. I thought it was a safe zone. The elevator doors opened. I stepped inside. It didn't protect you, I said, looking at her. It just exposed you faster. The doors closed. In the mirrored wall, I saw my own face. No anger, just exhaustion, like a long exam had finally ended. Later I heard that Coach David had transferred to a Miami branch. Sarah quit her job, left New York. Sometimes I pass by the counseling office and think of Lisa's calm voice. She never accused Sarah. She simply stated the facts. And facts, it turns out, are more powerful than any shouting. They don't raise their voices. They just sit there, like a stone, pressing down on every lie until it can't crawl anymore. Maybe only now does Sarah understand. When you try to use professional help as cover, the lights don't hide your shadows. They just make everything brighter, until the tears you practiced so carefully look like cheap stage makeup under a clear lens.